This is the TV Inform program, simultaneous interpretation from the Russian by John Glad. Good evening. In the formation of the Commonwealth of Sovereign States, a decisive period has ensued. We have the Slavic states and the Central Asian states. Baker has arrived in Minsk. There he is discussing political control in the country and control over nuclear weaponry. Russia today recognized the independence of Moldova. In Kiev, representatives of Russia and Belarus arrived. There is a state of emergency declared in one part of the country, and the Soviet intelligence operations will have a single structure. And the black diamond of 21 carats has been donated to the Russia's Diamond Fund. And the Russian clown Yuri Nikulin is 70 years old today and will have now all these news in greater detail. So the question of the Commonwealth are being to be decided in Almaty on the 21st of December. The presidents of Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzia support the Minsk Declaration, but they want to have certain changes in this document, and they want to be co-founders. Nazarbayev, speaking to Baker, said he was for the creation of the Commonwealth and that it be a European economic Commonwealth, but the Central Asian republics want their own peculiarities to be taken into account. And Mr. Nazarbayev said that 74 years could not be just crossed out at one time. A unified economic space will be created, we hope, by the Belaverskaya Push agreement. Russia and Ukraine have often had different positions than the other republics, and now that they are to be co-founders of the Commonwealth, we can hope that the former confrontation between these states will no longer exist. If 6 or 7 Central Asian states join the Commonwealth, there will be a number of barriers eliminated. If on the 21st in December, Kazakhstan, Turkmenia, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzia, and Armenia joined, our state will have a new name, the Commonwealth of Eurasian Independent States. This is Secretary of State Baker talking to Mr. Akayev, who visited the United States and recently Turkey. Kyrgyzia has often worried about whom it should be with China or perhaps with the Khakan Khanate. Not without the participation of the former Khan Shabdan, who is an ancestor of our current president. This question was being resolved. The agreement in Bishkek was signed by Kravchuk and Yeltsin. Here we have not only severe economic realities, but likewise traditions. One quarter of the population and a good deal more of the productive population consists of Ukrainians and Russians. We ask your forgiveness for our technical difficulties. We hope we have the proper footage ready in a few minutes. The main thing which troubles politicians abroad is the question of the fate of the 27,000 warheads in Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, and Kazakhstan. This was what Mr. Baker spoke about in Moscow, Minsk, and Bishkek, and in Kiev. In the governmental residence of Kazakhstan, here was Mr. Nazarbayev with James Baker. They discussed a number of important questions. First of all, the question of nuclear weaponry for Kazakhstan is one of the 4 nuclear republics of the former Soviet Union. There has to be a separate agreement between the republics where the weaponry is currently stationed to prevent this weaponry from being utilized, said Mr. Nazarbayev. A question to Baker. Are you pleased with the discussion of this question? We've discussed in great detail this question with Mr. Nazarbayev, and I am pleased with the results. One of the questions which was discussed between Nazarbayev and Baker was the Commonwealth. Mr. Nazarbayev was firm that his evaluation agreed with that worked out in Ashgabat. This had to be an agreement of equal partners. The negotiations in Minsk did not take all that long, but they were quite packed with details. The Beloverskaya-Pushcha agreement was discussed, the problem of nuclear weaponry and humanitarian assistance. This statement by Belarusia, we are quite clear that Belarusia will be a non-nuclear state and a neutral state. But you can't do this sort of thing in a moment. This is Mr. Shushkevich. So this might take some time. In the near future, there may be an American consulate opened in Minsk. So here's Mr. Baker arriving in Kiev in the Mariinsky Palace. He met with the President of Ukraine, Leonid Kravchuk. They had a one-on-one discussion, and then a broader discussion between Mr. Baker with the entire leadership of Ukraine. The meeting of the Russian government took place here. This is Mr. Borlis, who said the meeting took place a day earlier because of Yeltsin's departure for Italy. This is an important topic. The Commonwealth of Independent States. The agreement has been supported by various parties and governmental structures. All our sovereign states have joined the agreement, aside from Georgia, Armenia, and the Baltic states. So we want to create a unified defense network, but the question of nuclear control is still unresolved. Gennady's question was also not quite clear with regard to the fate of Mr. Gorbachev, but he said that after the two presidents met, it was obvious that their work together was quite radically changed in nature. Borbulis said that he would attempt to eliminate the deficit in the budget. People are interested in what's going to happen to their savings. We can't leave a citizen alone with freely determined prices, but we have to protect the citizen. We're going to double the minimum wage, eliminate limits on salaries, compensation and subsidies, etc. How about my savings in the savings account? What do you mean? Well, indexation. Of course, there will definitely be indexation. Then the delegates saw two variants of the Russian coat of arms. They decided they liked the eagles with the more kind expression. Today, Russia recognized Moldavia and recognized the independence of Kazakhstan and Armenia. The heads of state of the Economic Commonwealth has been delayed because of the economic chaos. There was a proposal that Mr. Popov be heard out in Parliament together with the chairman of the City Council of Moscow. They want to have a transfer of governmental structures from the Soviet Union to Russia on a civilized basis. The Parliament is meeting to determine its position with regard to the Commonwealth of Independent States. The upper chamber again met, not in its full body. Many of the delegates were returned home. Nevertheless, the upper chamber decided that Belarus, Russia, and Ukraine had the right to form a Commonwealth, and it was noted that continuity of membership should be observed. The future meeting of Central Asian leaders in Kazakhstan in Ashgabat was yet to take place. Soon, many of these bodies will become effective history, and this parliament was, we might say, was sort of a mirror of our history during this period. The Popular Front in Moldova has demanded that measures be taken with regard to the separatists in the Dniester region. The president of Moldova, Mircea Snegur, agreed, but he said that this had to be done by peaceful measures. As we know, the representatives of three republics who signed an agreement in Belaruskaya Pusha went today to Dubasari in Moldova at the invitation of Mr. Snegur.